I don't know. Tom, what's up? Any
What
any
up,
thoughts on
gentlemen?
that theory we just threw out? How's that sound?
I was going to do a lesson on filing Chapter 7 bankruptcy, if you guys want to hear it.
Yeah,
So,
guys.
Oh, not the
Sit.
time, Tom. Not the time.
yeah, so I saw Tensor just got acquired, or Vector got acquired from Tensor.
Yeah, well, okay, we can talk about that. Can we just give we might have a new audience here because as you know, we're streaming on Asset Dash today. So
Oh, okay.
Tom, maybe give us a quick introduction of yourself and what you're building at SOAR
Cool.
before we jump into Vector and how you guys kind of fix this issue.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm Tom. I'm CEO of SOAR. We're allowing or enabling anyone anywhere to invest in startups all over the world using on-chain rails, but our model is very akin to Web 2. If you think of like tokenized equity, our model works in similar ways. We used a senior debt model, which is quite interesting, gives us liquidation preference. Um, Tokens aren't securities, don't have any participation rights, but we do enable the value of the company to actually be passed back to the token holders.
Sweet. Well, we're loving what you're doing here. Obviously, MCG's big fans. But with that note, we saw a great test case and use case for SOAR and why you guys have value with this acquisition of Vector.fun and basically rendering the Tensor token valueless. Firstly, what do you think about that? And how do you guys figure this out?
Yeah, well, this is the frustrating part of tokens, right? We can't have a serious industry whereby no one ever owns anything, and as soon as the company gets acquired, essentially token holders get rugged. There was also a very odd pre-pump on this one, which I thought was very concerning. So you have some insider trading paired with also token holders getting screwed.
Lovely.
Welcome to crypto, I guess, in 2025. This needs to stop. This isn't a serious industry when things like this happen. The only way you stop this is you tie the token directly back to the company itself, whereby token holders are getting some intrinsic benefits tied to the company, right? In our model, for example, assuming that some company on our platform got acquired and used our model, used DRP, essentially what would happen is that say they got acquired for $100 million. If there was a 5% circulating supply, $5 million would pass back to SOAR, which we would then be able to distribute at our deference back to token holders, right? So there is no rug in that case. There is no you getting screwed. The value gets passed back to you. You're happy because the company succeeded, and token holders and everyone walks away happy, right? Unfortunately, in this case, and what we've seen with KOL Scan and Padre and a bunch of other cases is that you don't own anything. The sooner people realize that and the sooner people start buying things that actually give you ownership, the better off we are.
I think we saw the exact same playbook with Padre. Actually, we saw pre-announcement token pump on Padre mysteriously happen. We saw the acquisition; it nuked because people found out there was no value, and then it seems like Pump Fund kind of walked it back on that and said, "Hey, actually, we pre-planned this. We're going to give you guys some sort of one-to-one value in the pump token." Do we see something like that for Tensor?
I don't think they do because Tensor still has a marketplace. So they're going to play it like, oh, they still have other products that you can invest in. But the reality is that Tensor as a product has been quite quiet for, I don't know, 2 years now, I guess, going back to 2023 when they got pretty popular. They took, I mean, at one point they did flip, I believe, Magic Eden, if I'm speaking about the right product.
Yeah, they did. When I think they were doing a points program,
They were
so
doing
everyone
a points
kind of
program.
jumped over.
Mm-hmm.
But so why is it important to companies for companies to have some underlying value? We've seen, I think, token utility be a big battle with people where it's like, oh, I launch a token, but it's really hard to integrate any sort of meaningful utility. And then you guys kind of slash that by saying, well, we'll just give you straight, some ties to the company here. Maybe tell us why that's important. And we can talk about CPT too, the first project that launched through you guys that's doing this coming on.
Yeah. So number one, Web 2 companies, we always want them to come on chain for the first time, right? The reality is that trying to tie utility into Web 2 companies is nearly impossible. You can do discounts and fees and this and that. It never works. There is actually no value accrual right there. What you end up seeing is people come on chain, they launch a token, they drive all of the value back to their Web 2 equity, right, or entity, and then eventually the token just fades away because there actually is no value accrual. And then we have people screaming on Twitter like, why are people not valuing our companies at 20x PE ratios, right? It's like, because you don't own anything. Like the end of the day, there's value when you own a share. You can talk about how much value you actually get, but tokens they enable you to get value in simply buybacks or greater fool theory, right? That's what you're buying into, is those two theories there.
Okay, so maybe talk a bit about your pipeline. I think that's one thing that excites me the most about SOAR. You guys went live with CPT as your first launch. Obviously, you deeply vetted them. There's some people have certain things to say about them, which I think we'll address later on. But what's your pipeline looking like? Any more launches coming up? What should the people be really paying attention to?
Yeah, our pipeline is huge. So we took a little bit of break after CPT. There was a bunch of to first stage products, so we wanted to go back and improve trading. There was a couple different things with our fee structuring that we wanted to amend. We'll be back next week for sure. We have some really cool stuff coming up. I'm super excited about the next one. I think it's the first time on chain that you'll be able to invest in this type of product. So it's a product that you see everywhere, and I'll leave it at that. That's my little bit of a hint to you. But we also have a ton of other stuff coming, a bunch of really cool AI products, some of which are one product has over 1 million users right now, a couple $1 million in revenue a year. Another AI product, which I think is great and very novel. Their closest comp in crypto is $500 million token, and they're tokenizing for the first time. So bunch of really random stuff. We want to diversify and enable people to invest in whatever they want to. Whatever your interests are, we're going to have something for you on SOAR pretty quickly.
You guys had a little bit of sniper action going on for the CPT launch. How have you guys, maybe realign yourself going into the next one to avoid that?
Yeah, it's always a fun cat and mouse game, right? It's like anti-bot at its core. We've put a lot of thought into basically how, dissecting how the sniper actually got access early on. So we're going to change up the methods of how to do so. I think we'll win on this one. I think we will lose inevitably in the future, but like I said, it's always going to be changing things and kind of changing how we release things. I know people want us to do some whitelist stuff, so we have talked about that internally. For some of the bigger stuff, we probably most certainly will do that. The higher value stuff will be something that we want to whitelist and just give people that are active on the platform, people that are trading a lot, our best holders, maybe give them a little bit of early access so that we don't even have to fight snipers.
Let's talk about that. Maru says, Captain, I feel the SOAR VIP badge advantages revealing soon. Is this going to be some ties to the VIP badge, to holder benefits? How can we get access to whitelists on specific projects?
Next week, there's going to be a nice rollout that I think everyone will enjoy. And you'll see a little bit of some new stuff coming. I think that'll tie directly back to next week.
Dom,
Eyes on for next week. Eyes on SOAR.
I
have notifications on, Tom.
Yeah, totally. And I do want to show off the platform real quick before we get too far into the conversation. So this here is the SOAR homepage. The number one thing to look out for, because there's 1,500 projects, but only one currently curated. So you really want to find this curated badge. Tom, can you talk to us about a curated launch versus a non-curated launch?
Totally. So we basically have 3 different levels of launches on the platform right now. So we have permissionless, i.e. anyone can go deploy a token. Then we have a verified launch. That means that we have a third party that actually KYB and KYCs your launch. So you know that you're not investing in a company that's hacked, right? We do domain verification, for example. You're getting a non-hacked website. You're getting a company that is KYB'd and actually exists an entity. And the third thing is you're KYCing, right? So the founders are actually KYCing to us. So all of those things are things that I think in ICM, if you're running a real business, you shouldn't be undoxed for the most part, right? Very hard to be a person that's hidden and also running a company as a CEO. So we basically enable everyone in that verified to say, hey, I'm a real person. Hey, I'm a real business. I want to launch my token. Here it is, right? And the last one is this curated, which takes the verified, everything that verified is, and then also is, I wouldn't say incubated by us, but we have a lot of in-depth conversations with them. We see if they're legit. Are they building? Do they have the TAM opportunity, the large outsized opportunity that we think requires or deserves a curated badge? So that's the highest level of DD that our team does. We meet with people in person. We meet with them over multiple video calls. We see how far along they are. And like I said, how big their upside is one of the things that we look at a lot.
Look at that. I have an early flyer badge. I noticed this on my profile. Also, guys, this really cool, I don't even know what you call this. What do you
Captain
call it?
card,
That's
maybe?
we call it the boarding pass.
Awesome, the boarding pass.
like
and then
that.
if you zoom it in, like if you look really closely, there's some funny lore in there, but I won't say it on stream. You can go find it.
Go to the top and go to launch on SOAR and then slash in loyalty. So I'll send you the link. Hold on.
Yeah.
Also, can we do a quick check on if you go to the search bar? I want to see if that Dinero Dom account surpassed Tom.
Oh, no.
So
I
Tom
don't think
has
so.
193.
But
Come on,
almost
guys.
Wenzel. You almost got Wenzel, so that's a dub. But yeah.
Wenzel's just one piece of the puzzle. I got to knock off Captain Beef up there.
Here, gentlemen.
How about the name though? You know, I got the Dom 3-letter username. It's pretty OG,
The
right?
Dom is fire. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of jealous because my name is so long on this platform.
Dude. Terrible.
We also added a bunch of, I don't know if you saw, but we added a bunch of social features this week in terms of notifications. The forums are getting a little bit more revamped. So constantly thinking about how we can engage people on the platform a little bit more. I don't want to say chat because I feel like I'll get clowned, but we are making sure that people can communicate.
Wow, this design and UI is beautiful.
It'll be a lot better next week. This is just a little teaser that I figured you guys might want to see. I don't even know if you can see it on the website yet.
Okay, Tom, you said there would be benefits for buying on app, holding on app, potentially benefits. I should clarify. We saw there were some challenges buying CPT on the app. Just lots of people, lots of traffic. It was a little laggy, tough fills. Should we be buying on app come the next launch?
So no, because that coming soon button is going to change to a connect your wallet button very quickly. So you'll be able to connect a cold wallet, Ledger, whatever, etc. I would prefer people buy an app just because I like seeing people use it. I also like seeing if there's any bugs with buying because we did improve a lot of stuff. But if you're using a trading terminal, etc., you're welcome to do so. Just make sure next week, come when this announcement comes out, you connect that wallet over there, no matter what wallet you're trading on. So that's my tip there.
Is it like an internal discussion to try to give some sort of edge for in-app users rather than, obviously you have all the information there, right? That's a big edge, I guess you could say. But like, is there going to be some sort of push to give a benefit to buying in-app rather than buying on terminals?
We do have a structure set up internally. We haven't used it yet, whereby buying on the app would be your best bet for an early launch. So yes, I would like to get people, kind of force them onto the platform a little bit more for certain launches. Otherwise, I don't really care that much about it. But we want to make the experience more akin to, maybe like a Robinhood buying experience over time. So we'll have some limit orders and stuff that we probably add in the next couple months.
So as far as the trading experience, like what's the overall vision for the trading experience on SOAR? Like, I know it's mostly a platform where typically you just buy and hold, but are you gonna like add in some more features? Like, what's the broader vision for the trading on SOAR?
So the broad vision is that in a lot of ways, the platform operates as this early stage stock market, right? That's what we've thought about it for a long time. So what are some of the pros of a stock market, right? Like having bigger indices is something that we'd like to add at some point. Within legal boundaries, we have to think about that, but it would be cool to have some indices whereby there's a certain group of projects that you're able to kind of diversify across without having to click 50,000 buttons to do so.
Would they be SOAR exclusive indexes?
More than likely, yes. Because we have so many projects in the pipeline, we're going to be able to very quickly build out this little NASDAQ, et cetera, right, of different projects that we feel like are high quality. And obviously there's some value in diversifying so that, you minimize your fluctuations every day. The second thing, like I mentioned earlier, is like limit orders, things like that. We're also looking into some type of futures. In some ways, I'm so sick of like perps being a thing.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of people getting liquidated. I almost like the idea of I trade stocks a good bit, right? And I always just buy calls. Like I enjoy buying calls because I can just sit on them and not worry about getting liquidated the following morning. So I have thought a lot about if we go back to just doing some type of calls and puts options on some of these tokens. It would be quite interesting to do. It also enables us to add different trading experiences. So things that are all in the works. I don't need to rush it though. Our main focus is onboarding projects. Like we want good stuff on the platform. The rest of that all comes in time.
So we have 5 minutes left here, and I want to go through this first launch because CPT was the first launch. It's a drone / energy wireless energy transfer company. It's really cool. We won't spill all the beans, but we'll talk about the structure of the launch. So what's unique about your launches is the tokens are secured by a senior debt note. Is that correct?
Yep, it is. Super senior debt.
Super senior debt. The circulating market cap is about 10% or maybe a bit less than the FDV. Can you just walk us through this structure here?
And CPT? Also, real quick before that too, I'll just pull up my screen because someone had a question.
Oh, that question about I know it there is.
Yeah. Okay.
I already answered this on Twitter, but I'll happily answer it again.
Yes, please.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, cool. So yes, so CPT, full disclosure, 5% into the bonding curve in LP, right? So that's that 5% that represents the senior debt. And then additionally, they had a market maker. So 1% went to a market maker paired with USDC. So they sent dual-sided liquidity. I think I talked about that last time I was on the show.
Yeah.
So for a grand total of 6% floating circulating supply, right? That is currently tradable. Now, to add on to that, if you go on, I think CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, right? Technically, by their definition, it is 10%. And I'll tell you why. The market maker and centralized exchange wallet, which can only be released upon verification through myself or one of our team members. We have to say, hey, this is a real market maker. This is a real centralized exchange, right? And then we actually send the tokens directly to that entity. They never go to the team, but they're unlocked and they are technically by CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko definitions circulating, right? They're not actually circulating because they're sitting in wallets. You can look at a tracker and see that. 1% of tokens goes to our treasury. They aren't going to be sold, obviously. They just stay in the treasury. They're our investment in the company, if you want to think about it that way. Those tokens also technically are not locked. They're just sitting in a wallet, will not be touched. When you go to CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, they have a bunch of requirements, and we have to just confirm that, hey, these tokens aren't technically locked. Thereby, they say 10%. Realistically, the 6% that shows on the website is actually what's tradable, what will actually hit the open market.
Got it. A few features I just want to highlight here for people because this is unique to this platform and I think solves a lot of problems is you have, issuer verification. You have also these things called artifacts. So in here, you can actually see things like, I haven't looked at this one, so actually I want to go check it out, but things like the patent filing, their deck, obviously. So I'll show this. This is actually CPT's patent filing, and we're going to ask Patrick about some of these things here. But this isn't just like issue token, SOAR's done. There's a chain of custody of information and documents that are kind of backing this issuance. So really unique. First,
it's how you're supposed to invest in startups at the end of the day, right?
Course.
Like this on chain where I'm trying to figure out if their website's hacked or their Twitter's hacked or if they're real people. Like it's for the birds, man. Like it was fun for a little while, and then I get rugged 5,000 times in a row, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Like number one, I'm not good at this. Number two, like I would just like some type of verification that these companies are real. So we need to create a really trusted environment. Will we always be right and correct? No, but we're trying our best to really put good stuff, quality stuff on there.
And one last feature that I love is this message board here. It's a forum, pretty JSON. He says he fucking loves this. So that's awesome. But also Patrick coming in with an update. Again, founder comms to the core holder community as well as on X. So I'll leave her there because we have to wrap in a minute. Maybe Tom, final thought.
Yeah. I think we're at an inflection point. Obviously the market sucks, but I think that the ICM guys and ICM community are extremely strong, to be honest with you. Like they're all holding the line and being like, ICM's a great hedge. I fully agree. The beautiful thing about, investing in companies is that they don't go to zero overnight, like some of our bags, unfortunately. So I can sleep comfy at night knowing that the stuff I'm trying to buy and invest in is going to be stuff whereby the company is still functioning. They're not affected by the broader market downswings and such, Bitcoin and Ethereum are great, but once we get past that, most altcoins are not great. And the reality is it's just a value accrual problem, right? These, go on Base and you trade on Base, right? Where are the fees going? They're going to Coinbase. They're going to Coinbase's balance sheet. At the end of the day, they take care of equity holders first. That doesn't work for tokens, right? In general, we need one single source of value accrual. Our model is the best public way to do so. I'll be honest with you. I highly recommend that if you're a serious company and you're looking to launch and actually show your holders that they mean something to you, using our standard or something very similar to it is the only way to say we're accruing all of our value back to our token. Equity and token are in a lot of ways intrinsically linked. And I think the market will reward you, to be honest with you, when you use a model like this. So that's
Tom,
my final thoughts.
And we're at time, but I need these answers. Can you speed run them in 1 minute? Firstly, are we planning on juicing liquidity for next launch? I know some people are saying, well, liquidity is super thin. I don't like that. And how's revenue looking from the first launch?
Cool. Yes, we're looking at different ways to improve liquidity ASAP. Bonding curves are funny in that way, right? Second thing, revenue's excellent. Really happy with the first launch. Need to scale up for sure, but like I said, we're taking our time, doing everything right, getting good quality stuff on there. We've had a lot of opportunities to throw garbage so far, passed on all of them, want to be high quality, not going to sacrifice, our reputation for some quick bucks, never will, not in our intentions. So very good, but need to scale up more.
Love it. Love it. Thanks, Tom, as always. It's a pleasure, brother. We'll be
Thank
keeping
you,
those
gentlemen.
tabs on SOAR and probably be talking soon.